To win a war, a military needs its generals. Generals are the ones who plan attacks, create strategies, give orders, and manage resources wisely. They use their experience and knowledge to guide their countries toward victory. But Russia is quickly running out of generals because Ukraine is removing them from the battlefield one by one. The first Russian general was killed just days after the war began, and the most recent ones were killed at the start of this month. So far, Ukraine has killed 16 Russian generals during the war. This number comes from a trusted source, the United Kingdom's Ministry of Defense, MOD, which recently posted an update on X about the latest Russian loss. That Russia's Ministry of Defense has confirmed that Major General Mikhail Gudkov was killed on July 2nd, 2025, in Kursk Oblast, located in western Russia. Gudkov, who was appointed Deputy Commander-in-Chief of the Russian Navy on March 28, 2025, died in Ukrainian strike on a Russian command post. He was likely leading Marine infantry units that were trying to create a buffer zone in Sumy Oblast, Ukraine. However, Russia's efforts in Sumy have slowed due to Ukrainian counterattacks and heavy Russian losses. Gudkov was born in 1983, making him 42 years old when he died. He spent his whole adult life in the Russian military. He joined in 2000 and graduated from the Novosibirsk Military Command School in 2005. Over the years, he climbed the ranks and became commander of Russia's 155th Independent Marine Brigade. He took part in missions in the North Caucasus and in Syria before the invasion of Ukraine. When the Ukraine war began, Gudkov continued leading the 155th Brigade. This unit was involved in Russia's failed attempt to capture Kyiv in the spring of 2022 and later fought in the Battle of Ildar in 2023 before being moved to Kursk in 2024. It's also important to note that Ukraine has accused the 155th Brigade of war crimes, including the execution of 9 Ukrainian prisoners of war. Even though there were reports of war crimes committed by his unit, Gudkov was awarded the title Hero of the Russian Federation in 2023. He was promoted to Major General in 2024 and then to Deputy Commander-in-Chief in March 2025. This position put him in charge of all of Russia's naval infantry, as well as its coastal missile and artillery troops. That means he held a very powerful and important role, one of the top military commanders in Russia. Russian President Vladimir Putin personally praised Gudkov earlier this year. During Gudkov's promotion in March, Putin said that under his command, the 155th Marine Brigade had become not just an elite unit, but one of Russia's best. Putin also said he believed Gudkov would use his skills and experience to make his forces stronger and reorganize the Russian Marine Corps. Gudkov also seemed to be liked by the troops. A Russian war blogger named Roman Light claimed that the general was respected by his soldiers. He said Gudkov was one of the few commanders who told the truth to his superiors instead of just saying what they wanted to hear. If these claims are true, then Gudkov was clearly a key figure in the Russian military, a strong and experienced leader who had earned trust and was tasked with major responsibilities. His death will cause problems for Russia's military leadership, as Putin will now need to find someone with similar skills to take over. And that won't be easy. This makes Gudkov's death a big victory for Ukraine. According to the UK Ministry of Defense, Gudkov was killed on July 2nd, when Ukraine struck a Russian command post in the Kursk region, which is located about 19 miles, 30 kilometers from the front lines. A local Russian news outlet reported that at least 4 missiles were fired at the command post, and social media posts claimed that 10 Russian soldiers were killed along with General Gudkov. Soon after, rumors began to spread on Russian Telegram channels, suggesting that Ukraine may have learned about the base's location either from a spy, a mole, or by intercepting calls that Russian Marines made to their families. Either way, Ukraine found the location and struck at the perfect time, killing another important figure in the Russian military. And Gudkov isn't the only general Ukraine has taken out. According to the UK Ministry of Defense MOD, Gudkov is the second high-ranking Russian general killed in 2025, the 5th general killed in the past year, and the 16th general since Russia began its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. 16 generals. That's a huge number of top military leaders to lose in just a few years. It proves how skilled Ukraine has become at using its resources to gather intelligence, track commanders, and hit them precisely when they're vulnerable. What's more, the mods numbers may already be outdated. On the same day Gudkov was killed, reports also came in that two more Russian generals, Alexey and Ilya Akhmerov, had also died. Gukov's death is especially shocking. He was killed right in Moscow, Russia's capital, far from the front lines. It's likely he thought he was completely safe while working as the head of the FSB's 5th Service, a role he had since summer 2024. Before that, he was the deputy head of the FSB's counterintelligence department, and he had even worked on prisoner exchanges with the US and Germany. But this attack proves something important. Nowhere in Russia is truly safe. Not even Moscow, where the Kremlin and Red Square are located. Even high-ranking officers like Kov can be targeted and killed. The FSB chief was killed in what Moscow is calling a targeted assassination when a powerful car bomb exploded in the middle of the city. Video footage quickly appeared online, showing what was left of the car. Its windows and windshield were blown out, and smoke was pouring from under the hood. Ukraine hasn't officially confirmed or denied whether it was behind Kov's death, but the Kremlin was quick to blame foreign intelligence services, with many Russian officials suggesting Ukraine was involved. The FSB has already launched a full investigation and is promising quick revenge. Another major Russian loss earlier this month was Ildar Akhmerov, a vice admiral who served as chief of staff and first deputy commander of Russia's Black Sea Fleet. His death has not been fully confirmed, as different reports are coming from both the Russian and Ukrainian sides. However, some sources claim he was killed during a special operation by Ukrainian forces. Even though Akhmerov's exact status is still unclear, there's no doubt that Ukraine has already taken out many other top Russian generals during the war. The first one was killed just a few days after the invasion began. On February 28, 2022, a Ukrainian sniper shot and killed Major General Andrei Sukovetsky, who was then serving as the deputy commander of Russia's 41st Combined Arms Army. President Putin himself confirmed Sukovetsky's death, which became one of the earliest signs that Ukraine would fight back hard against the Russian invasion.